You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Hey,
Activate.
hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to your boy, the Sean Davy Way Show. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Okay, please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Okay. Please and thank you. So we are back. The title says Darius Jackson, innocent question mark. No, it ain't supposed to say that. Didn't I change? Lord, I changed it, Lord. What that way? I changed it. Whatever. So I changed it to it's supposed to say he is guilty. Doesn't say. Let me go look on YouTube. Because now I'm curious. You serious? Yes. It says Darius Jackson is guilty. Not changed on this side yet. Sharon Palmer's out Usher. And what's next? You know, for everything that's going on with Keke and Darius in court. So we're going to get into a little bit of that too. Okay. So now I've seen that there has been audio going around. Academa and Armand Wiggins and other people have been putting out this audio. Okay, and pictures and text messages and all of that. I'm here to say me no care. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that stuff because again, I've never looked as Keke as perfect. Okay. There's no such thing as a perfect victim. Okay, there's no such thing, right? So we've stated before that when you're in a toxic relationship, meaning toxic on both ends, a toxic relationship is not just one person. It's not. It's a relationship, right? So that means it's between both parties. It takes two at least for that to happen, okay? So please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. So with Keke and Darius being in a relationship, we've also stated in multiple videos, women, it's not okay to put your hands on a man. Okay, that is not okay. No one should be putting their hands on anybody. Okay. Why I look at Lord Vicky, why I look at Keke as the victim, because she is. Doesn't matter what he brings forward, what audio, none of that matters. You want to know why? Not a problem. The reason none of that matters is because whoever is being harmed within the relationship, okay, goes to get help. All right. They've been through counseling, among other things. And with Keke going to the authorities about what happened, getting the restraining order, all of those things means we would have never known if she didn't do said thing. We wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have known. So how is Darius a victim if he's never said anything? Defending yourself does not make you a victim because someone comes out and states with proof that you have been hurting them because they may have done the same thing to you or at times been physical towards you does not make you innocent. It does not. Not only that, you're a man. She is a woman. Okay. So if Keke was doing these things to you, hurting you, harming you, then Darius, you should have simply left. It's that simple. You sitting there knowingly recording someone and acting calm to make it look as if the other person is irrational blows me. Blows me. For anybody to take your recording serious is laughable. And the reason it's laughable is because you're recording. So it's not like a bystander is recording you and you have no idea. You are recording. So that means at that point in time that you are deciding your behavior within that moment. Why wouldn't you be as chill as a cucumber? I'm like, you put this out for what? What does this prove? Another thing, why is everybody defending Darius but Darius? Darius going live on IG or anywhere is going to be bigger than him handing anything to anyone. That's going to get more attention than, or him going public himself on set platforms and stuff like that. Yeah, that I would understand that. But sending recordings around and text messages and pictures and whatnot with no backstory behind said pictures, only bringing these things forward because you have been out, it makes you look narcissistic. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Abusers do this all the time. They do. There's a big spotlight on you and you care about what people think of you because you're a narcissist. Our narcissists do. So what does that prove? Okay, Keke going to the authorities and whatnot and showing what she showed proves to me, okay, that she's afraid. That this is taking on a life of its own. It's too much. I can't deal with this no more. I've tried, and whatnot. I've done things. He's done things. You sitting there recording Keke admitting that she's done things wrong. Where's your accountability? It's mighty weird that Keke is this demon, this manipulative demon, yet she's willing to admit her faults. You are not. You pushing it as if you was defending yourself. And we clearly see on that video, you yoked her up. I get that there's cause and effect, but words are not cause for anyone to get physical, especially a man on a woman. No, not at all. You came over there outraged and irate while you were not being recorded, and then started recording to make you look away. To make you look away, to make you look like the victim, like you always try to do. You ain't no fucking victim. You're a punk, is what you are. And again, I would have definitely vouched for Darius if Darius would have came forward with this first. Why did it take for you to almost KILL this girl for her to feel like, you know what? Him trying to run me over, throwing me over couches and all of this stuff. Like this is getting crazy. And we ain't even together no more. And he still feel like he can do all of this. So no, I'm not looking at Keke as like, oh, again, we've said this before, this pristine angel. Both sides have manipulated each other. Keke's been manipulative towards him, and he's been manipulative towards her. But she's not being manipulative in a way to get physical. So again, I understand completely, which we've said also, that when women get into confrontations with men, when their feelings are hurt, they feel that they have to make the man feel the hurt immediately. Meaning, I can say things back, and this isn't going to hurt you. It's not going to affect you. But maybe if I shoot you in your face, you know, something like that, you'll feel the hurt that I feel on the inside for what you did or said to me. So I get that. It does not excuse it. I'm not excusing it at all whatsoever. But at the end of the day, Keke is a woman. So there's no way in a physical challenge am I going to look at Darius as the victim. He is not. There is no victim when it comes to Darius. There isn't. A victim reports. A victim gets help. A victim tries to get out. How are you a victim and an aggressor in the same breath? I'm not going to encourage a man that even if a woman hits you, definitely not encouraging this to my children. And I preach these upon my kids, my boys, all the time. And my girls, I tell my girls all the time, do not hit these dudes. I don't care if they make you mad. Don't walk up to them like, don't even do that. Because that can be enough. You never know what mood he in. That could be enough for his body to and just respond against you as if you a man on the street. So don't even make him feel obligated to have to defend himself physically. And I say the same thing with my boys. If a girl hits you, walk away. Go tell someone. Do not feel like it's okay to hit them back. It's not. It does not justify anything. No, it is not right that they're putting their hands on you. But two wrongs is not going to make, because you retaliating is going to affect you. It's not going to affect her besides whatever physical damage you do. But other than that, your reputation, how people look at you, all of that, their minds will change, you know, of you. So to protect yourself, get away, even if it's your girlfriend. Call me. I'll come get you, pick you up, whatever. Just start walking and just call me. Because I'm coming with the police. But just start walking and call me. Do not, and I know it can be hard, easier said than done, but do not. So I'm not going to encourage any man that that's okay. You're innocent because she's hit you too. No. It does not excuse it. It is not okay. It does not justify it. If you walking past and Keke hits you in your mouth, Darius, leave. Call the police. Go to your family house, call your mom and tell your mom, get over here, she over here, ... Just like when you doing something to Keke, she call her mom. She gets somebody on the phone. You do the same thing. That's a victim. Not somebody that feel like because we've been beating on each other or hitting on each other, now she want to go to the police. What? So Keke willing to admit her wrongs, stating that I have done things I'm not proud of. There have been times you said things to me and, you know, I put my hands on you because of what you said, because, you know, but it's cause and effect. Cause and effect. It does not excuse it. It does not. It does not excuse that. It's not, oh, well, it's okay that no. A toxic situation is just that. Meaning the situation is toxic. When the two forces come together, it's disaster. It's friction. Okay? That means separate. Toxicity does not get better. It gets worse. And on both sides. So you can be the type of person that doesn't put your hands on other people. There's people you can be in a relationship that will turn you into that person. Like you hit me all the time and your body just start responding and doing it back. Now you are becoming toxic. Because now you can take this behavior elsewhere. So for Darius, for anybody, there is no innocence to that. The innocence is walking away. The innocence and walking away, like James Wright. Krishan walked up to him and hit him multiple times. And he had restraint because of how he was taught and did not hit her back. And you know what? People would have actually understood if he did. They would have understood. That ain't his woman or anything like that. Like, what is, even if so, it still don't give you the right. It still don't give you the right. So and I still look at this as James should not have put his hands on Krishan, regardless of her. I get it. I understand. It's enough to make a person irate and make them want to physically respond. I get it. I'm not saying I don't. I do. But I'm glad that James did not, because he is innocent. That's innocent. Because he did not put his hands on Krishan. So if you have somebody attacking you like that, leaving you leaking and whatnot, and you can have enough restraint to still not physically harm them, that means that that's not in you. It's not in James to put his hands on women. It is in Darius. It is. Absolutely. And if Keke's putting her hands on him, then it's in her nature to put her hands on men now. Say she's been in relationships before him and this never happened. She never put her hands on anybody. Nobody ever put their hands on her, that she dated. Being in a toxic situation can pull you into that nature. And it's not even you. It's not even who you are. You normally never put your hands on anybody. That's just not how you are. But that the situation getting worse, you kind of start to adopt that behavior. So you were now, I am going to put my hands on you. Now I am going to defend myself. Now, and it's vice versa. Because there's a lot of women that put their hands on men and they do nothing. They'll let the girl do it. And in the majority of times they're dating. Something romantic is going on. And then all of a sudden, one day, they turn into that person and just snap. Because they're tired of it. Everyone has their, I'm done. Everyone has that in them to where they're going to swing back. They're in some way, shape, or form. Their limit is met. Okay? Doesn't excuse it. It's human. It's human nature. It happens. But it's not okay for it to continue. The first time is enough. So that's why you got to get yourself away from that. Easier said than done, but it's still something you have to try to approach. So if Keke was doing all of these things to Darius, he should have left. Not get your ones. Because she over there doing this and that to you. You got the right. No different than Blueface. When Krishan was sitting over there putting her hands on him, Blueface should not have responded physically. He should not have. He chose to. That was a decision. He should not have done that. I would never encourage him to do, well, she hitting on you, so it's fine. No, it's not okay. And it needs to be spoke on. So if Keke was putting her hands on him, speak on it. Not she's getting a pass. No, she's not getting a pass. How is she getting a pass? What pass is she given? She's a woman in a volatile relationship with a male. This male is coming to her home without her permission, taking things from her, all of this stuff. None of that is warranted. What about in that makes him a victim? What in that makes it okay because they were just dating? It's not okay. And I don't give up, even if he and Darius and Keke spoke on the phone and Keke did say, you could come get your son. If he was that irate, you're not going anywhere with my child like that. If he's trying to run her over almost when she put garbage cans in front of the driveway so that he won't leave. Imagine a baby being in the back seat. and all of that. I'm glad the baby wasn't there. Whenever y'all get through, I'm glad the baby was not there. And even if the baby was there, you're not taking my baby out of the house in the manner you're leaving. Upset, all that. You're about to get down the street and crash my baby because you're mad at me. You're not about to do any of that. You're not about to yell at my baby, be short-tempered with my baby. You're not about to do none of that because you're mad at me. I don't blame her. Hold him to his ish. I don't give a damn about him coming over there being mad because the baby would have. So leave. Leave. It's not give him a right to do nothing he did. He shouldn't have touched her because she did not touch him. Not that day. Give up what she allegedly did on Wednesday. He should have called the police. He should have got a restraining order and got custody of his damn baby. Not combat her like she ain't no whole woman. She is. Stronger than her, faster than her, and you're a fucking trainer at that. Even more dangerous. Don't give him a right to do nothing he did. I don't give a damn what he showed. I don't care. Because he could have shown all of that to the police, getting a restraining order on her. And trying to get custody of his kid. Since she's so dangerous. Since she's so dangerous. I'm like, okay, so she ragdolled herself in the living room? That footage don't show her attacking him. He attacked her. So he felt comfortable doing that. Means you've done it before. And she even got proof of that. It's not a victim. Please. Somebody with a victim mentality that will sit there and mentally push a person to feel like they have to do something. Bully. Sometimes a bully will sit there and all day just rail on you. All day long. And then it gets to a point, especially if they're around you, you do something. You get physical. You shouldn't, but people do. Not an excuse. And why it is an excuse? Because Keke is willing to take accountability for it and be like, you know what? There were times that you pushed me to the edge and whatnot. And I did put my hands on you, like, and I shouldn't have. But when it comes to him, he is just innocent. Oh, he ain't did nothing. Although it's on whole camera. He ain't did nothing. These are all defensive wounds. This is me defending myself against her, although you ragdoll her on that couch. What was that for? Because she made you mad? Okay, well, you've made her mad too. She did something. I doubt she ragdolled you. I doubt she almost ran you over with her car. I doubt she did those things, but you are. And that's weird because you a whole man. At least supposed to be. At least supposed to be. There is no excuse. I'm trying to hit at you. My girl, please. Like, no, there is no innocent. There's nothing innocent about that. Being in a toxic relationship does not mean that you are not an abuser. It does not mean that. Like, where does that come from? Where does that type of teaching even come from? Because y'all toxic, you're not. Okay, so if he leaves, so leaving Keke, he gets to his next relationship and he's doing the same thing to this girl. It's her too. It's her too. He convinced his ex-girlfriend to get rid of their kid because he was dating Keke. Why not be honest and say, hey, I'm in a new relationship? That's not manipulative. That's not abusive. To convince a person, it's not that they wanted to end you did. It was big for you to make sure that this didn't happen. So because the person thinks you care about them, and this is something y'all created together, she decides to do it. And then she finds out that you're dating Keke. So you want her to get rid of the baby because you're about to go public with Keke. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about these pictures. Okay. Abusers have patterns, but has nothing to do with coddling anybody or anything like that. No. I feel like a lot of men are being taught the wrong thing. This isn't about defending women. This is about protecting men. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. No, this is to protect men. Men, hear this. Do not put your hand on a woman. Don't. It's a such thing because a lot of you men are overly masculine, like toxic. So you feel like a woman hitting you is not abuse. That's the double standard. You view it as shorty mad. I piss shorty off. No. Because if she pissed you off, I wouldn't encourage you to go over there punching and kicking and stomping on her. So she don't need to be doing it to you either. So she's doing it to you. It's literally the same thing. There is no difference. There is no difference besides women will come forward first. They're usually the ones in danger. They'll come forward first. Men don't. So it's not a lot of times that this isn't happening to these men. They're just not reporting it. So since they're not reporting it, they get mad when the girl does. A lot of these abusive men have taken these women's lives because they feel like you called the police on me, but I didn't call the police on you when you did it. So now I'm gonna end you. And a lot of times it don't be deliberate. It'd be accidental. Just them being angry on a whole nother level. Men, you don't know your own strength. So sometimes you could go to do something that you think is going to be temporary and it end up permanent. Meaning she's gone. Gone. It's never worth it. So get out of these situations immediately on both sides. And I'm going to state, I'm always going to go with the person that comes and reports it because it's genuine. So to me, with Keke coming forward and getting a restraining order, that's genuine. Because he can do the same thing. He's choosing not to because he don't feel like he's in danger. He does. No matter who's done what, a toxic relationship is toxic on both sides. If she feels like her life is in danger, her life is in danger. I don't go with Darius. I don't know him, but she do. And I'm going to go off of what she's saying. And there's proof backing it. Not that I was asking for it. I didn't need to see those stills and whatnot, those videos from the surveillance equipment in her home. I didn't need to see that. Her coming forward, stating what she said, it's enough. I get it. Like, I don't need her to, draw it out for me and whatnot, because I'm not a victim shamer. And I'm not going to shame her. No different if this was Darius. I would stand with him, just like I'm standing for James Wright. I would do the same thing for Darius. If Darius came forward without Keke, if he came forward, not as a defense mechanism, not as doing damage control, but if he came forward and went to the courts and whatnot and let them know what was going on and stated that she was doing certain things and whatnot, I wouldn't be like, okay, well, why, Darius, weren't you telling people what you were doing to Keke? I'm not going to say that. And the reason I'm not going to say that is because that's Keke's story. So if he was doing these same things to Keke or worse and whatnot, that's her story. She got to go combat that now. I'm going to look at it as in Keke, you're the aggressor. You're the abuser in this situation. Because if Darius is doing all these things to you, Keke, why would you not do anything about it? Your child is involved. That's how I'm going to look at it. She did. So why am I going to look? I don't give a what Darius say. He can defend himself. I'm not going to defend him. I in no way, shape, or form. I'm not going to question anything Keke said because she didn't have to come forward. She could have just let this keep going and going and going and going and going to being toxic and manipulative, since that's what she was. And she could have just kept letting it going and going and going and going and going. She wanted it to stop by making it public, realizing that she is in a toxic environment, meaning she's adding to it. She's adding to it. But a lot of adding to it is due to a lot of his behavior. So because as you see, him coming into her home, approaching her, attacking her like that, all of that, that's him. That got him written all over it. It's that simple, because he's not going to convince me that if the baby was there, that he would have walked in, took the baby, and left. No. It would not have went down like that. It would not have went down like that. No. You were angry with her when you got there. You were mad. So either way it went, y'all was getting into it. Either way. Because you could have cared less about the baby. It wasn't about the baby within that moment. It was about you being enraged. That's all it was. You were angry. Very angry. Very angry. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna look at it. Like, you were mad. You already had it in your mind. That's premeditated, if you ask me. You knew you were gonna place your hands on her before you even pulled up. You knew it. That there's no innocence to that. Whatever she did in the past, report it. Report it. You on here telling the internet while she telling the court. Weird. 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 Go tell the courts this. Send this to the court. Like how she did. Send it to the court. I don't give a what Sharon said to him on the phone. I don't give a damn. So let one of y'all relatives, cousins, sisters, mom, aunt, that somebody y'all truly care about, be in a situation like that. I would love to hear y'all want to talk to the boyfriend. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt the most of y'all come back. Well, let me speak to him, girl. Let me speak to him, girl. Let me get his side. Yeah, no. Most people gonna jump right into protective mode. So yeah, I don't care what she said. I really don't. I don't care what she said. Like, cause so do what you need to do to protect your baby. Like, I mean, and she weren't physically there. So I don't care, because I'm gonna threaten somebody. That was my daughter. I'm gonna be threatening you, all of that. I mean, yeah, when we get upset, we say things we don't mean. Why do people expect, because people are celebrities or parents of celebrities, to act a certain way? Everything is a script. It's not. It isn't. When you upset, you upset. When you're mad, you're mad. When you go into protective mode, you go into protective mode. Why is that? Like, I don't get that. Is that strange for a parent to go into protective mode? You hear things going on with your kid, that they're being hurt. This person's trying to put their hands on your kid, or already did, and what, you're going to be angry. Yeah, I don't get that. But let's pull up some of this stuff. Let's get into some of this. I really don't get it. There's no way, shape, or form I'm gonna feel like Darius is innocent. Like, there's no such thing. From what I saw, yeah, it's like impossible for him to be looked at as innocent to me. Somebody's doing something to you, report it. End of story. End of story. Do not wait to report something because somebody reported you. That's stupid. That's dumb. She's reporting me to the law. So now I'm going to come forward. Or you could have did what she did. Go tell someone. Then you got a paper trail, all of that stuff. Something ends up happening, even to where he may have had to defend himself or something like that. You paper trail. There is no paper trail. There is no paper trail. It's your word against hers. But she got a camera backing a lot of things that, so her word is, so it's full audio surfaces of Keke Palmer's mother going off on Darius about harassing Keke, being upset about Usher's concert. She said Usher is homosexual and sleeps with men. Now, of course, when I listen to this audio, because it is a lot of profanity, a lot of profanity. So we will not be playing that. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. So she did say, that Usher, but her excuse, not her, I'm not going to say her excuse because I feel like that's kind of like harsh to say her excuse. But one of the things I'm assuming that Sharon felt that Darius was upset about at the time was Usher. So I believe she said that he was gay because she says that she was defending her daughter or trying to protect her daughter. She said, I told that lie about Usher was to get Darius to stop abusing my daughter on account of his jealousy. So I said he didn't like women for her safety. Everything else I meant with my chest. I like her. I meant with my chest and didn't expect anyone to hear because recording me is illegal. I guess he is okay with jail, but I knew that when he put his hands on my daughter, he is still using her in all of this, trying to paint himself as a victim, textbook behavior. So I couldn't agree with her more. I absolutely couldn't agree with her more. And when she's saying that she was trying to protect him, meaning protect her daughter, meaning, he's gay, like, why would you even be considering Usher, be jealous of Usher when he like me? I don't know. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care what she said about Usher. She's stating right now that she was not telling the truth when she said that. And again, she was not expected to be being recorded, especially by someone that was so aggressive within that time and everything that he had just did and was doing to her daughter. I find it mad weird. He didn't record any of that stuff, but he did record when he was completely calm throughout the situation to make it look as if they were behaving irrationally. So I found that hilarious. I'm like, now that is textbook. To where you incite an argument with someone, right? And then as they're upset, you're calm. And then you're like, why are you so mad? Like, are you angry? Like, why are you yelling? Like, what are you yelling at me? That is a narcissist. That will do that. When you started all of this, you get a person riled up. It's not reverse psychology within that moment. It's just riling the person to turn into the victim. So it's like, I said what I said, but I said it calmly, but I knew it to get you angry. So now that you're angry, I'm going to gaslight you within this time to make you feel as if I'm nothing to fear. I'm the only one here for you. Like I'm a rider, type of situation while you're upset, you're irate, because of the things that I just said. And then while you're yelling at me and mad and I'm gaslighting you, then I get to turn into the victim. Because it's like, now you're yelling at me, you're saying these things, what are you threatening me for? Like, what? It's like, are you serious? But that's what narcissists do. That's what they do. They will force a situation. Again, he came over there. She has the right to ignore his call. She has a right to ignore his text message. She has the right to ignore all of that. Mm-hmm. Technically, she's the mother. Well, she is the mother. So technically, she's the custodial parent. Okay. So in most states, including California, you have to gain rights to a child if you don't solidify that at birth. Like meaning like in writing, legally binding, custody agreement. If you just have a baby with a mom, she's the custodial parent. So if you don't have a custody agreement, you can't say when the kid is going anywhere. You have rights to your child. You absolutely do. But to fully gain them, you have to go through the courts for that, not the parent. Keke don't grant him custody. A judge does. So she can't just tell him take her to court. Because then the judge will determine where the child goes, how long the child's with each parent, holidays, a judge will determine that, not you. So again, even if she was acting funny, there was times back in the day I got into it with my kids' mom, and I was supposed to go get my kids. I would go and get them and whatnot. She'd be like, "Don't come. You're not getting them now." Stuff like that. We were young. We were childish. We're dumb. But we grew. from those experiences. And so, it is what it is. Not true anymore in Cali's 50-50. If it was 50-50, Los Soto, I find that mighty weird when they granted Keke full custody. In order to grant her full custody, meaning he had 50% custody, meaning no one had sole, they were splitting it 50-50 joint, then that means that they would have had to take custody away from him. There was no custody to take away because he was never granted anything. You got to get it on paper. I don't trust anything on Google that says, no, go to your courthouse and literally let them determine that, because and they're not married. Now, I could see Cali having that law if you're married. They're not married. So they're not just going to just give him 50% custody of the child is usually granted. So meaning there was a custody agreement to begin with. There is no custody agreement. They were just together raising their kid. So that would make her the custodial parent because they're not married. But if they were married, then, by law, but I'm sure if that's the law in California, then yeah, they have joint custody. Married. But I would just check because people be saying that stuff and people be thinking it, and it'd be something completely, because they change laws all the time. Sometimes we pay attention to them, sometimes we don't. Sometimes they make them super public, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you got to call to find out. But yeah, I wouldn't trust that. I would definitely make sure I contacted, and he is fighting for custody for his son. He is. I did see that. He is fighting for custody. He absolutely is. Kim Cruz said you have to establish paternity before custody can be established if you aren't married. Agreed. So that's what I'm saying. Just because two people are dating, it does not mean that that's his kid. Even if the person signs the birth certificate, the only thing that can prove that is DNA. And that still does not give a person like a rights a married person would have to their kid, but every state is different. So I'm not from California, so I can't say, but the laws of Los Soto could be completely correct. I'm just saying it's always good to check because they change laws, statutes and stuff all the time. So I would just make sure. But in this case, to grant him full custody or grant her full custody, even though she mentioned the child, he never did anything to the baby. So with him not doing anything to the baby, I believe they gave her full custody because she is considered the custodial parent. So they're looking at it as like she is with the child every single day. And since she's with the child every single day, we're not going to remove the child from her. And where her having a restraining order against him and the child being involved, it's just better that we make the restraining order against the child as well if she feels afraid. Because a lot of abusers will use the children. They'll use that as a means to get back around said person. Use it as a power, a weapon, instead of just being a parent and just caring about your kid. It's more so of a get back at the parent. So they pay attention to that too. Judges, and they're not stupid. They're going to look at it like, okay, well, she's fearing for her life. We have these images, whatnot of him doing these things to her. Yeah, let's just keep him completely away from both people, and we'll reconvene, like, so December 5th, when they go to court. That's when it will be more of an update. I'm assuming the judge is going to grant the temporary temporary restraining order to remain. I don't think the judge is going to lift it, not right away, but I do think the judge may give him some type of visitation. I do think the judge may give him some type of visitation, even if it's supervised. I do think that they will, because again, he hasn't done anything to the child, and he's been really cooperative. Y'all see him outside of the courthouse talking to the police officers, and stuff like that. He's been really cooperative. So since he has been, from what's been gathered, he has not approached her since the restraining order, and whatnot. So he is following the rules. So with him following the rules, I don't think the judge gonna be like, no, you can't see your son. I think the judge will give him some type of visitation to Leo. I don't think the judge is gonna be like, no. Until they now the judge keeps the temporary restraining order as of now and keeps it again on the 5th, then he may have to stay away from the child. But I could see the restraining order staying on Keke. They give him visitation. I could see the restraining order staying in for Keke, but being lifted on the child. So that's what I'm saying. I could see that too. And he does have rights to his kid. And since he didn't do anything to the kid, it's not, the judge don't have much probable cause to not have him around the child. So I do think that. I don't think that the judge is just going to be like, no, you can't see your child. That's not likely. I don't see that. I would be surprised if the judge was just like, nope, you can't see your kid. So let's keep going. So yeah, Darius is picked up my arse. Like, boy, please, you try. Let's get into this. And so Keke Palmer has temporary sole custody of infant son. What happens next? Legal expert explains. Now, y'all know me. I like to hear from people that know what they're talking about. Who better than, to hear from the law and what's going on. So I think that Keke should be able to keep, sole custody of her child. I do think that he should be, well, I don't know, because again, he didn't do anything to the child. So I really don't see the judge being like, no, you cannot see him at all whatsoever. So, I don't know how that's going to go. Let's keep going. An LA court granted Palmer a restraining order against Darius Jackson and her request for temporary sole custody of their son until a December 5th hearing. Following a judge's decision to grant Keke Palmer a temporary restraining order against Darius Jackson, along with temporary sole custody of their 8-month-old son, Leo, Jackson is currently barred from coming within 100 yards of both of them. The temporary restraining order also states that Jackson is not allowed to have visitation with his son, with a hearing set for December 5th to determine further action on the temporary arrangement. What happens next? People spoke with a California-based family law attorney, David Glass, and New York-based attorney, Marilyn, how do you say that? Shinetz, maternal, oh Lord, matrimonial partner at the Blank Rome LLP, who are not connected to the case. In a declaration submitted with Palmer's request for a TRO, the Nope Star alleged multiple instances of physical violence, and the filing included screenshots of what appeared to be security footage of a male striking a female over a sofa. Palmer also alleged that Jackson abused her on multiple times over a 2-year period. DV restraining orders, which typically last 3 to which typically last 3 to 3.5 weeks. Okay, are almost always granted, almost regardless of the allegations or of what the allegations are, as long as there's some sort of allegation of abuse, says Glass. And the court will typically grant sole legal and physical custody to the parent making the allegation. Wow. So that's what I said. If this was happening to Darius, if he was being so hurt and so harmed, why wouldn't he just go and then get a restraining order on Keke and file for temporary custody, sole custody of your son because of what she was doing to you? Why didn't he do it? Because he's not the victim. He's not afraid. She is. So that's what it gives. Like, that's the difference when you're in a toxic relationship. The party that goes to end it is usually out of fear. They're usually afraid. Okay? I'm just saying. While Jackson's lawyer could try to fight the visitation prohibition before the early December court date, it would most likely fail in Los Angeles County as Glass. I've never seen it work, he says. You've got to wait your 3.5 weeks until you get to court and get to tell your side of the story. Moreover, the Los Angeles County court system really frowns upon such emergency actions, he says, especially if the court has already made a decision. Even though it was one-sided, it was only based on Keke's allegation. The judges are strongly encouraged not to go back and forth and start changing things until that first hearing, okay? So nothing will definitely be changed until then. So even if he tried to go and fight it and be like, blah, 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 and no, just wait till you go to court and you can say what you need to say and submit what you need to submit. Like I said, if Keke was doing all of these horrible, heinous things to him, why are the recordings out now? Why wouldn't he wait for these things to go to court? I could see the recordings coming out after court, but why not wait and take this to court? Because he's a narcissist. He only cares about what people think of him. He don't give no about Keke, not like that. He don't care. He cares about his name and what people are saying about his name being tarnished. Because this is evidence that you're sending around people. Why not just wait and go to court? December 5th, not that far away. Is that why you're not going and saying anything publicly? Because your lawyers told you not to? So why are you sending around recordings? That's not good. You should wait for court to do anything. See how Keke's not saying anything or doing anything? Because her lawyers are encouraging her. Do not say anything. Don't comment on nothing. Sharon can say what she wants to say. She's not involved. Now, she wants to involve herself as a witness. That's a whole nother story. But she's not involved. But she can say what she wants to say. She can respond. She can go underneath comments and, say she's not on trial here. She's not going to court on December 5th, besides for support. Besides moral support, she's not on the docket. It's between him and Keke. Darius and Keke when he gets to court. So it would be best to not say anything. Honestly, it would be best not to say nothing, just because you don't want anything being used against you. You putting out things and sending things to people and whatnot can be used against you. Can be used against you. Mm-hmm. Keke can have certain things struck from the record because they're already public. So her lawyer can move to strike and whatnot if you try to submit the same audio into court. Say, we don't know if it's altered, we don't know if it's this, we don't know if it's that. These have been recordings that have been sent around, blah, blah, blah. The only things that's going out about Keke is what she submitted in court. It's all public. So it's not like, people can't use her filing against her. Her filing is public and people are using her public filing for what they're going around saying. Not things she's sending people in the background and stuff like that. No. She's not sending anybody video recordings of him throwing her over a sofa. None of that's happening. She's not sending around recorded phone calls or anything. She's not doing any of that. So he's an idiot. Darius, you're an idiot and a narcissist. Mm-hmm. Because it would be best for you to just shut your mouth. It would be best for you to just shut your mouth. Hold on, let me finish reading this. What will happen at the December 5th hearing? Jackson will be able to testify his side of the story and may bring in close family or friends who have witnessed him as a father. Schnitz predicts one common scenario. His lawyers are going to come in and say, look, he had an altercation with her. He's a good father. He needs to see his child, and he'll agree to supervised visitation. We were just talking about that. But before any sort of visitation is granted, says Glass, the court has to decide, did the abuse happen or didn't it happen? Okay. So if this was a he said, she said, he would probably be looking pretty good in court. Even with the recordings. Probably be looking a little, zesty. But with her having proof of that abuse, you're popped. You're popped. And she submitted it as evidence. There we have it. So you're going to have to sit there and explain that ghost that's throwing her around that room. You don't get to say, well, she scratched me. She just hit me upstairs. Because then it's your word against her. You have to prove that. So showing pictures of things on you, again, that's not being done at the hospital. It's not being done at the police department. You taking those pictures do not determine where certain injuries came from. That's how they would determine. If you go to the hospital and say, or call the police and be like, she did ... to me, then they're going to determine that based off of your report. You never reported anything. You never reported anything. So when she describes what happened on November 5th, you throwing her over the couch and all of that stuff, she has evidence to back that up. She has video proof of it. Video proof. So she says any injury to you came because y'all were tussling over the phone or over the couch. They're going to kind of have to just believe her. She can prove you did this to her. So again, she's not lying about what was going on. She's not lying. She's not lying. So, and I'm not saying he lied about her possibly putting her hands on him because she, admitted to certain things, But he's not in any danger. Like she didn't almost take his life, body slamming him, on stairs and all the flipping her over couches and like none of that. Like you're dangerous and you're scaring her. She's scared. She's afraid. I believe her. Why would she not be afraid? Those video stills alone are cringy. Just looking at them, it's just like, ooh, or they're like, oh, nobody should have to go through that. He did this to his own sister, like he used to trick his sister, all of that stuff. That's true. It's not no wrong. That's true. Like, girl, trash. Like you're popped. So he can think this gonna be simple if he wants to. Good luck. You better get some good attorneys because you gonna need them. Okay, did it happen? Okay. And then as a secondary question, the court has to decide, was the child ever around to view this abuse? Keke done already mentioned that he has, man. If all of those answers are no, then the court will put in a regular sort of custody schedule for the child. If all of those things are no, they're not. Okay. If one or two of those questions are yes, you're probably looking at starting with supervised visitation and eventually with good behavior, building up to something more standard. In a custody trial, Palmer's mother, Sharon, who spoke out on Instagram last week, may also end up testifying on her daughter's behalf, says Glass. So this is why I feel like Darius is targeting Keke's mother. He's targeting Keke's mother so that she's not a credible witness. But you have to remember, Darius, everything you're doing is outside of court. So you sending around these recordings to her, recording her without her permission in California, that is illegal. That is also why Sharon keeps saying that. Because y'all know y'all about to go to court on the 5th. Y'all know, she know y'all going to court. You know y'all going to court. So you're doing everything in your power to discourage her, to make it look like she's unreliable. She's a firecracker. That's why he sat there on the phone recording her while chill. No, play the whole recording because they're going to hear the whole thing. If you don't, and they can tell when something's been edited. You can hear it according to sound. So if you're playing a recording and the conversation pretty much is already started, you can tell by the sound of how it's coming in if it's clipped or not. If it's clipped or not, meaning you cut it off to where the conversation is starting here versus to hearing the whole thing. So you're a loser. Like you're going to pop yourself by doing it, because you shouldn't have said anything. You should have just sat back and kind of just let things play out, at least until the 5th, to where you had a better idea of what was going on. But to put these recordings and stuff out of Sharon, you're doing that deliberately because you know she is going to be one of Keke's most credible witnesses. One of her most credible witnesses, someone who's been around and seen her parent and all of that. You are trying to use this to your benefit with her threatening you because you were abusing her daughter. Not her doing just because the sun was up that day, so let me call him and say I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. No, cut it out. You tried it, and like Sharon said, she didn't know she was being recorded. She didn't know she was being recorded, so you can't use that technically in court anyway. So it's probably why you're sending it around. Probably why, because you can't use that in court. It's illegal. You needed her consent in order to record. You didn't have it. And you didn't let her know you were recording either. So either way it goes, you can't use that. Got to be able to use something that's that is applicable, like that on both sides, both parties know what's going on. So at this point in time, you're screwed. Like you absolutely are. This is not gonna pan out well for you. Blah. That was cute. Waste of a profile. Okay, so then it says, okay, last week, may also end up testifying on daughter's behalf, says Glass, but that will require firsthand knowledge of any alleged abusers, and she does have that. She was present. If you're going to be a witness of any kind, a witness at any kind of hearing, it in most states you have to physically witness it, he says. Ultimately, the court will determine how the estranged couple will handle legal custody, who makes the decisions for Leo, and physical custody, where the child lives. In the scenario of Palmer being named the sole physical custodial parent, that means the child lives with her full time, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't get to see his child, says Shinetz. A source previously told People that Palmer did not want it to get to this point of making their issues public, but she did what she had to do. Reps for Palmer have not commented, and the manager for Jackson had no comments, which by people. Jackson appeared to address the situation on a post on Twitter last Thursday, sharing a photo that showed him holding his son. He wrote, "I love you, son. See you soon." As to whether the publicity surrounding the ongoing legal proceedings could affect the case, Glass said, likely not. The judges I've been in front of with a celebrity or known clients tend to not read any of that gossip, he says. They just focus on what's in the pleadings themselves, okay? So, again, all of this stuff that's being sent around, these recordings and whatnot, they will not pay attention to them because they can be used against you. So if it's not submitted into the court, they're not taking it into consideration. They're really not. Now, Keke's lawyer may bring into court that certain illegal recordings of her having being sent around and was illegally recorded by, blah, blah. Now they may bring up, things like that, but if it's not in court, they're not paying attention to it. So it's like, we don't care what's going on. We don't care. If it's not here, if it's not something that the judge can pick up and quote, he don't care. If it's not something they're showing him on a video or something like that, they're not going to care. So yeah, that's what that were. So yeah, I feel that he's extremely guilty. There's no innocence to what he was doing to her. If they were in a toxic relationship, you're in a toxic relationship. Somebody has to leave it. Someone has to have the strength to know that they don't deserve what's happening. Okay. So again, if Darius would have came forward and said that these things were happening to him, I'm all for him. He's the victim. I don't care what Keke say. Keke, if he was doing all these things, why didn't you ... She did those things. He did not. So if he had it his way, those things would still be happening. He was completely content, in my eyes, physically putting his hands on her. He was okay with it. And he was okay with her putting her hands on him. He was completely fine with it. When you're not, you do something about it. Keke did something about it. He didn't. It doesn't make him guilty. Okay. It makes him complicit. That's all. He's completely fine with it. He's not going to do anything to stop it, make it calm down, like nothing. Like he's not willing to change. He's completely content with who he is, and the things that he's doing in the way that he treats her, he feels is okay. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. So she did. That's why she did something about it. He could have done the same thing. No, you do not get to wait till someone reports you almost taking their life, basically. Because again, we all know what happened with Shanquella. And I said, it makes me look at people putting their hands on people completely different. Completely different. For real. So, and him being a man, ragdolling her, like that, she could have lost her life. It does not take much to snap. It does not take much to put your arms around her neck and you held on too long. It don't take much for that. It doesn't. So get out of the situation is what I would have said to Darius. If Darius had real friends, that's what they would have said to him. You need to leave her. You need to leave her. Like, you got to get out of here. She had to keep breaking up with him. Like, that's mad weird. You're a victim, yet you keep approaching this girl. What? I'm such a victim. I'm about to go over her house, take her phone, throw her over the couch, all of that stuff. You sound dumb. Like you sound dumb, but you go right ahead. Because again, if this was happening to anybody, if this was a personal thing, to where even if your sister did hit him or something like that, you ain't trying to hear none of that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. My sister called me, talk about he just threw me over the couch and he did it. Say less. Where you at? You at home? I'm taking care of it. If he jump in a conversation in the background, I'm threatening him immediately. Immediately. Right away. I will waste no time. Oh, those threats going to be coming out right away. So I'm not going to blame Sharon for acting the same way. Like, why everybody acts like they would just be so calm. Oh, he's doing these things? Well, calm down, hun. Let me talk to him. Maybe he's just upset. Like, what is victim? Victim in what? Victim of what? Like, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Like, that's crazy. Like, no. Because women have took men lives too in DV situations. Get out. Leave her alone. If she all of these things, why you at her house like okay, she told you the baby one day, you should have just left. Why is anything else excused after that? No, he had the right to leave. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. Popping up in people's rooms and all of that, you weird. Like, no, you should have left. That simple. What other advice would you have given him? Yeah, you should have threw her over the couch. You should have this. You should have. For what? Leave. The baby ain't here. Leave. You broke in anyway. Like, I mean, you're not invited. Get out. And then you come in hooping and hollering like, nigga, get out of my house. We've been the same way. Where my baby? I want to see my son here. He ain't here. Get out. So let me grab you and throw you over the couch and take your phone and leave with it and almost run. Innocent of what? Because she was popping on him too? Okay. Do what she did. Call the police. Go file a police report. It's never too late. Go file a police report. Make it real. Or do you just want to be innocent on the internet? Where you want to be innocent at? In real life or on the internet? Because that's giving narcissistic. If you care about, I just care about what the interview thing, what the internet think. So let me put this information out here. So give it to the police. Go let the police know she's been threatening your life in order to make it real. Make it real. Make it real, Darius. Sending around a recording of her talking ish, the mom talking ish, and you over there putting your hands on her daughter, I would expect nothing less. I would expect nothing less. I would actually have been looking at her weird sideways if she was trying to be rational. For what? Turn up. Turn up. If he had like a weapon to her, you know, or something like that, then yeah, I'm going to keep my cool, you know, and try to get her some help as soon as possible. Whether it's me or the police. I'm going to try to get her some help as soon as possible. But if you just over there feeling like you run-ish, no. I'm going to respond the same way. I'm going to be cussing you out, all of that. And a lot of stuff, when we say when we're mad, we don't mean it. We're just angry. We're just angry. Usher was brought up because, I mean, need I say why Usher was brought up? It's not like she was sitting over there talking about like Diddy or somebody. Will Smith or, you know, somebody that's not involved. He was still pressed about Usher, insecure, and gross. I mean, not only do his girl got more money than him, Usher did too. So that's weird. That's weird. I don't get that. I don't get that. I wonder what Keke's sister has to say. I think she has. We'll hear it in court because I'm sure she's a witness. So we'll hear it in court because again, they want the people there that witnessed that a burst. If you haven't witnessed it, then you can't, you know, testify like, I mean, like, yeah, I know that he's blah 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 because you have to have seen it. She's allegedly seen it, and the mother too. And then she got the camera surveillance. Like that's going to eat him alive. That's going to eat him alive. Well, he got some pictures. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I stand with Keke and Leo. I want Leo to be safe. I want Keke to be safe. I do not feel like Keke would be safe if she got back with Darius. I just don't. I don't feel like she would. I don't feel like she's safe now. The only reason he's holding his composure is because so much attention is on us. Because look what he was doing before the attention. Before the attention. Because if Keke put this restraining order on him and we didn't know about the restraining order, he'd still be, you know, I feel like bothering her. Going over there, calling her, texting. I feel like he would be doing all of that. But since this is so public now, he wants to follow the rules. Because that's what narcissists do. They want you to feel like they're a good person. Narcissists don't like being disliked. They don't like it. Although they'll be the first people to say that they don't care what people think. No one cares more than what someone thinks than a narcissist. Because that's how they define themselves. Off of other people's thought process of them. That's why people like him become like trainers and stuff like that. You know, to keep their body a certain way because they're so judgmental of themselves. So they need validation. They need other people to validate them. If I work out all the time and become a trainer, then you're still going to have low self-esteem because you still got it. Didn't go anywhere. Still there. Still insecure. All that. You're still insecure. That's what that were. So yeah, I'm like, he's fooling no one. Well, he ain't fooling me. As far as I'm concerned, you're guilty. And I hope that charges come up against him when they go to court on the 5th. He needs to go to jail. And if he feels like Keke's been doing certain things to him, get her arrested. File charges against her. Stop talking. Shut the fuck up. Howard. Come with your receipts, your proof and whatnot, and get her arrested. File charges. Stop talking to us. Why are you talking to us? Go talk to the court. We ain't, you acting like we the judge and jury. We not. We not. See how Keke went to the judge and jury? You went to social media because that's what you care about. She went to the police because she cares about her safety. That's just what that gives me. You're not in any danger or anything like that. And that's what I feel like where y'all got to get that out of your mind. Because even if she was, like I said, hitting on him, and all of that stuff, for him to not be in danger when I'm saying that is because he was consistently putting his hands on her. So with you putting your hands on her, you can't be afraid of her. You can't be. You're not afraid of her at all whatsoever. You wouldn't be hitting her. Most men are afraid, like women are afraid to hit a woman. You don't fear it at all. You'll do it. You're that type of person. So that's fine. I mean, he don't want to be looked at as a victim. That's why he never once said anything. Because you're not a victim. A victim will do something. You did nothing. Nothing at all. Even sitting there talking, even in the recording, I'm used to y'all doing this. I'm used to it. Okay. So the situation right now is Sharon is doing this because you're putting your hands on her daughter. So if you're used to her doing this, then that means that you're used to putting your hands on her daughter, because this is the cause and effect right now. She's responding this way to you because you're putting your hands on her kid, on her adult daughter. You are harming her. Okay? You absolutely are. Why aren't you calling anybody when Keke was harming you? Because you're the aggressor. Mm-hmm. You're a manipulator. So if everybody's manipulating everybody, then the best thing to do is leave. You didn't want to leave, but you also weren't in danger. Because when you're in danger, you leave. I don't care how much you love someone. If they have you feeling like they about to take you're going to run. You're going to get out of there. Mm-hmm. Instead of taking it as my girl mad. No. Your girl shouldn't be putting her hands on you at all. So because you allow her to put her hands on you, and then you feel, because again, you're a man. She's not your equal. Like, there's no excuse. There isn't. Just like there's no excuse for her to be putting her hands on you. And there's also no excuse for you not to say anything. What's your excuse for not going to the law? You don't have one. Besides guilt. You didn't go to the law because you were doing it. A lot of it was cause and effect. You were the cause. So you leave. That's what you do as a man. The only way to stop a woman from hitting you as a man, the only way to stop a man from hitting you as a woman, leave. These things don't get better. They get worse. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. I would have completely backed him if he would have went forward and said, she's doing ... to me. Cool. I'm like, okay. I would have no quarrel with that. And if Keke would have came forward like, oh, well, look, well, he was doing this and he was doing that. Don't get me wrong, Keke. Those things are wrong. As a man, he should not be putting his hands on you. But you were doing ... to him. Like you were over there putting your hands on him multiple times and he refrained from touching you, or anything like that. Keke girl, he wanted to put in this whole report. He's scared, not only for that you may put this energy on y'all baby, but he's scared he ain't never gonna see his kid again. Like you just gonna take the kid and run, and he trying to be a good. I would absolutely back Darius. That's not the story. It's not the story. Mm-mm. Darius was content in what was going on with them because we would have never found out if it was up to Darius. We would have never found out. Darius would have came forward. I would have ignored anything Keke technically would have said. I would have ignored it. I would have ignored it. So yeah. And these type of things, they get messy. Really, 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 really messy. So yeah, I'm the type of person, I'm glad Keke is no longer with him. I'm glad they're separate. Hope she never gets with him again. I hope everything works out for their son, because he does not deserve any of this. He's an innocent. And I hope he gets the help that he needs, because he needs help. Darius, you need help. You absolutely do. And Keke, you admitted that you allegedly were putting your hands on him too. You need help as well. And I see that she did at least try to go to counseling, while they were dating. I'm positive that was her idea, and not his. So it's not like, she running around here not trying to take any accountability and stuff like that. No, it's not that. I don't want Keke to feel like because she was in a toxic situation that she was not being abused. I don't want her to feel that way, because she was. In the story. I don't want her to feel that way. I don't want no woman to feel that way. That because, you were toxic to each other, saying a lot of nasty things to one another, and whatnot. And there may have been times to where you crossed the line and did something you should have never did, and put your hands on him at times and whatnot. That's what I said. Within that moment, I can completely not understand, but get him responding. But an abuser is Darius. You know how you're an abuser? You want to know how? Because no different than the situation on November 5th. When you took that phone from her, threw her over you are abusing her. Okay? Abuse. Somebody defending themselves would have been her attacking you, and you defending yourself during the attack. That's not that. You're the aggressor by attacking her. So you hit women. You do. You abuse women. You do. Fact. Yeah. So you don't get to say because she's hit me before. No. Mm-mm. No. If you will take an innocent situation and turn it physical, that's you. That's who you are. I don't have nothing to do with Keke. What does it have to do with manipulation? No, nobody can manipulate me into doing something that I don't want to do. I'm either going to do it or I'm not. It's one or the other. But it's on me, whatever decision I make. So I don't hit women. But if a woman hits me and I decide to hit her back, I now hit women. I don't get to say, oh, because she hit me first. No, if James Wright would have hit Krishan back, he hits women. That's a fact. Like, if a man R-words a woman, you're an R-worder. Doesn't matter if it was once, but no, you're always that. Because you're capable of it. Because you've done it. I don't care what type of therapy you got, counseling you got, good for you. But it's still an opportunity that you may do something like this. Again, it's a possibility. Because it's in you. So it's the same thing with putting your hands on women. Because you'll find and create excuses to be able to do so. The next woman you date, well, she made me mad and she reminded me of my first relationship, but she didn't touch you though. But she didn't touch you though. Okay, you were Keke and allegedly Keke did. Okay, well, what about this girl? She's not Keke. It doesn't matter if she has character traits of her or remind you of her. That doesn't matter. Putting your hands on a woman is an anger thing. An anger thing. I've been mad at so many women. I don't hit them. Even while dating them. I don't hit them. A woman's going to come forward and be like, yeah, he hit me. No, I don't believe in that. It's not in me. So if I was in a relationship with a woman and she was putting her hands on me, she would be putting her hands on me. Yeah, I've had that happen to me multiple times. So she would put her hands on me. That's how I got to keep my innocence. I got to keep my innocence by not responding physically. Now, my mouth is vicious. I don't say some crazy stuff, but young and dumb, and I just said crazy things, but I learned from it. I'd never put my hands on anybody. I wasn't raised like that. I didn't see it like growing up, or anything like I didn't. No, women did not hit. No, men did not hit women. Oh, I ain't going to none of that. So yeah, that's how I could say I'm innocent. I don't hate women. Like I don't do that. So hello. I'm just trying to find this innocence. Like, no, that's a you thing. If you'll do it to Keke, you'll do it to other people. And no different with Keke. If she puts her hands on you, she'll do it to another man. But a person like you, a narcissist, you wake that person up. Everybody has the protective bone in their body, right? And so it's like you may not be a fighter, but when it's time to get to like the quiet ones, the ones you got to worry about. When it's come down to when it's time to throw them things up, it's like a side of you that you didn't even know you were capable, of everything that you just did. But when you hit your boiling point, when you come to everybody got that, like that monster, that animal, like inside of them. Sometimes it just has to be pulled out. And with people like Darius, they pull that type of person out of you because of the insecurities that they feel on the inside. So they need you just as insecure as them. Narcissists work with energy. They work on energy. They're fueled by energy. They're literally energy vampires. They will drain you and drain you and drain you and drain you. So you kind of just start giving in to certain things, even things you shouldn't be doing. It's like you can tell when somebody's trying to get you to come at them. Like if you standing in a room with somebody and they just keep coming at you, wow, just saying these crazy, nasty things to you over and over and over and over and over. Eventually, your body is just going to react. So they are pulling onto that person and they're trying to pull that person out. And then they're best at it when you try to walk away, when you try to, I'm gonna go in another room or something, like they want to block you from leaving. They want to get in your face, and that can cause you to sometimes like move, like I'm trying, and then you just saying move and turn to them feeling like, wow. And now wow, so it's toxic. To where now this situation has turned toxic. So you're not gonna convince me that Keke was just sitting over there rocking him for no reason. No, I feel like she was placed in a toxic situation with a toxic person. So what do? You leave. You get out of the situation. That's it. When you got somebody sitting around taunting you all day long, but they swear they love you. And it's hard for you to just cut that connection because you love them. Like you do. Like, and now we got kids. So now with this kid being involved, it's making the relationship different and change. We're supposed to be evolving, but we're really not. Like we're going through all these problems and whatnot. It's like every day is something new. It's like we can't never just be happy. And then the happy moments never last long, and whatnot. So it's a process. It's not something that, Rome wasn't built in a day. So again, I don't feel like Keke's perfect. I don't expect her to be. A toxic relationship means both people are adding to it, not one person, both people. Because just like he's sitting there being toxic and narcissistic, gaslighting her and love bombing her, she could choose to leave it. Not sit around, deal with it, and then make him bring you out of body to where you're doing things you would normally do, responding how you would normally respond, all because you say you love him. Love don't hurt. So this isn't love. It's not. So of course she added to it. I'm not looking at her as like, oh no, she didn't. No, girl, cause and effect. A lot of times it be cause and effect. But I don't want her to feel like this isn't a triumph for her leaving. It is, because a lot of people don't. They sit around for years and years and years and years and go through this, hoping that it'll be better because they still see that person that they met. They still see that person. They're not looking at the internal. You know, they're looking on the outside, the external. You know, that's the person you fell in love with, but the desire, the heart, the mind, all of that has changed. All of that has changed. But you keep getting them. When you wake up in the morning, you turn and you still see that person, so you still feel like they're there. They're not. They're gone. So you can love the person that you see, or you can still be in love with an idea of a person that was. Because you should feel that if you love it, you keep looking at that person like the day you fell in love with them, then they should be treating you like the day you fell in love with them. If they're not treating you like the day you fell in love with them, then you in love with an idea. You're not in love with a person. You're in love with an idea of a person. And this idea in your mind, they're going to change. They're going to this. All they need is me. I got them. Change only works if thine makes the change. Thine self makes the change. You can't change people. You literally, especially like narcissists. Once a narcissist, always. That is the quality that never changes. I look at a narcissist as damaged goods. Damaged goods. Mm-hmm. Yes. Damaged goods. Like there's nothing I can do with you besides a lay. Like that's the most a narcissist can do for me. Like we can smash then. No. You've been calling you speaking to yourself in the third person all night. Oh yeah, no, gross. But you're cute. You know, so I mean that's about it. That's all a narcissist can do for me. But yeah, nothing else. And a lot of people, it's easy to fall in love with a narcissist because of the love bombing and the gaslighting and all of that. For them, have you feeling like you're on top of the world just to rip you from up top of it. That's their job. Oh, I gotta make you feel like the most important person in this room. And when that ain't enough, I'm gonna make you feel like the most important person on this planet just to snatch it all away from you within a second. Because that's how quickly it changes. They go from I love you to you nursing yourself back to health because of what this person is taking you through. And you're not supposed to be going through it while they love bomb you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll never do that again. I don't know what came over me. I'm just crazy about you. And you'll convince yourself that he's telling you the truth, or her. You'll convince yourself. You know what? And then you run out of you know what. And that's all what happened with Keke. She ran out of you know what. Like this is done. This is done. Like there's nothing you can buy me. There's nothing you can say to me. Like I got to get away from you. This is not good for me. It's not. So I'm proud of her for that. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. There are many people right now in toxic relationships. And instead of leaving the relationships, they want to blame each other. Oh, it's her fault because she hits me. It's his fault because he hits me. No, leave. Leave. Get out of here. Like, that's my advice. It's not going to be, well, cuz she shouldn't be putting her hands on you, bro. No. One of my friends get caught up in the domestic. Yeah, you got to figure out what's in you that's making you respond this way to her. Because you swear up and down you love her. If you love her enough to leave her. Yeah, people aren't property. A lot of men will look at a woman as property. They'll go through what they're going through with her, even if they like she putting her hands on them and all, they'll go through it because they deem her as property. Because a lot of these men are overlooking what they are doing. So if you cheating on her and all of that stuff, and you're excusing her hitting you and whatnot because you did cheat on her, or you know this or you that, it's just like this is toxic. Like all because you feel like you love her, she's home to you. That's all. She's home to you. Because if you wanted to be with her, you wouldn't be out here with all these other people. That's when you know you should marry somebody. That's when you know, because when you literally just like, you know what? I'm good. You know, like, well, what I got, like, I don't want that. Like, that's when you know it's time. If you still seeking other people or talking to other people and want to talk to other people, why are you even in the marriage? Shouldn't even be on the brain at all whatsoever. You're not ready. You're not ready. You want property. That's all that is. You want to lock her down because you don't want her with nobody else. You view her as property. So it's not that you don't want her to be happy. You're not happy without her. So you can't let her go because you don't want to see her happy and you not be the reason. So you're being selfish. You'll keep her here because she's home. She takes care of everything, take care of the kids and all that stuff, take care of the house, cook, clean, all that stuff, work, all that stuff. But you still want to play. And you know that this playing hurts her. Then you hurt her and you swear you care, you swear you're sorry. And that's when you coming back hurting her and when she felt a need to put her hands on all of that stuff and you allow it. You allow all of that. You do. Because you know that what you did is wrong. So you feel like you deserve it. You feel like you deserve her to do these things. See, I deserve it because, I shouldn't. You don't. There's no excuse. It doesn't matter if you cheated on her. She shouldn't be putting her hands on you. Not okay. It's not all right. Because she can turn you into the person that will respond to her that way. And it's the double standard. We all know that. You're not going to be looked at the same. People are going to look at her, that's fine. No different than a girl. She loses her virginity. She's a whore. A dude loses it. We high five him. They getting high fived. But a girl loses it and it's just like, oh, what a double standard. Same thing with putting your hands on a woman. It's a double standard. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's definitely a double standard. Like, it's not the same energy. We get that. Look at everything James going through right now with her station. Double standard, is what he's going through. It's unfortunate, but it's part of life. So it's the same thing that I would preach to him. It's like, it's not okay that you wanted Keke to be your home. Put a baby up in her, all of that stuff, and she takes care of home and takes care of your kid while you out here doing what you're doing. And when Keke starts to notice, and she's hurt by these things that you're doing, and she responds due to the toxicity that you've introduced into the relationship by putting your hands on her first. And now she takes time and she responds that way. That means this is toxic. Both of y'all need to get away from each other. Because just like he can hurt her, she can hurt him. Like, she could do the same thing. So it's best to just separate. And that's what I want for them. To separate. Hopefully Darius can change, and hopefully she can too. Hopefully they both get therapy, and whatnot. And I would say to men, the best way to protect yourself is don't put your hands on no, like, just don't. Get out of there. Don't feel like it's okay. Oh, she hit me, so no. Leave. Even if it's just on a night, if you just need to cool off. Like, go cool off. I wouldn't tell no man, like, if you're upset, like irate, chill out first. Chill out first. If more men took a deep breath before going to confront someone, I feel like it'd be way, more men alive, especially Black ones. So yeah, but I don't view him as a victim. I don't view him that way. If other people want to go off, that have nothing to do with me. But I firmly believe in someone that is being accused of these things for him to defend himself. I'm all for that. He can definitely defend himself. I will do none of that. I will spin no narrative, push no narrative. As far as I'm concerned, Darius Jackson is guilty, and I'm guilty of what he did to her. And if he feels like December 5th is coming, he feels that she's done things to him, he has proof of it and stuff like that, he wants to submit that into the court, I'm completely not against it. But at the end of the day, Keke is the victim. She is. Like, again, she's not walking into his homes unwarranted, and all of that stuff, snatching things from him. She's not doing that, throwing him off guard. She's not doing any of that stuff. Everything he did to her on that camera was his decision. He decided all of those things. He wasn't forced. How you getting victim out of that? So I love you guys. I have to get out of here. You know what? I might come back with something. I might come back. There is an update. I hit at the police report for crustacean is allegedly public. So I was going. I'm because y'all know we definitely coming back and reading it, right? Like we're definitely gonna come back and read that. So I'm gonna go look and see if that's there again. I stand with Keke. I sure do. I stand with Leo. Prayers for everybody involved. It is what it is, and I will see y'all on the next show. Thank y'all so much for being here. Continue to like, continue to subscribe. Until the next show. Bye.